The soft hum of the morning birds filled the air as Naomi Okafor stood by the small window of her family's home in Enugu. The golden sunrise bathed her face with warmth, and for a moment, it felt like the world was exactly as it should be, bright, beautiful, and full of promise. She clutched her worn Bible to her chest. It wasn't just a book, it was her compass, her source of strength, and the reminder of the God who had seen her through every season of her 24 years. She whispered,
"Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for my dreams. Lord, I believe you're taking me somewhere greater."
Naomi was a dreamer. Ever since she was a child, she wanted to be a lawyer. Not just any lawyer, but one who fought for the voiceless. Her father used to call her Little Esther, after the queen who rose from obscurity to save her people. That name stayed with her long after her father's passing. Today was special. She had just received her admission letter into law school, and her heart pulsed with excitement. In her mind's eye, she could already see herself standing tall in the courtroom, black gown flowing, fighting for justice. And then there was Chike, her childhood love, her fiancé, the one she believed God had destined for her. Chike had been her anchor during the storms of losing her father and the hardships of her family. They grew up together in the same neighborhood, studied together under the flickering lantern during long nights of power outages, and shared countless dreams about the future. "Naomi, are you ready?" her mother's voice called from the kitchen. "Yes, Mama," Naomi replied, pulling herself from her daydream. Today, Chike was coming over to celebrate her admission with the family. She smiled, smoothing down her simple but elegant dress. When she walked into the living room, her younger brother Uche teased, "Sister Lawyer, you look like you're going to court already." Naomi laughed. "Better get used to it. One day you'll be calling me Barrister Naomi." They all chuckled, but her mother's eyes filled with pride. "Your father would be so proud of you, my daughter." Moments later, there was a knock at the door. Naomi's heart skipped. She knew that knock anywhere. She rushed to the door, opened it, and there stood Chike, tall, confident, with his easy smile that always made her forget her worries. "Congratulations, my future barrister," he said, holding out a bouquet of fresh roses. Naomi's face flushed with joy as she accepted them. "Thank you, Chike. You didn't have to." "Of course I did. You deserve the best, Naomi." His eyes lingered on her in a way that made her believe every word. As they all sat together, eating, laughing, and celebrating, Naomi's heart swelled with gratitude. Life was good. Her dreams were unfolding. Love was blossoming. Faith was strong. Yet, in the corner of her heart, a strange unease whispered. She ignored it, brushing it aside as the weight of excitement. But that whisper would grow louder in the days to come, until it became a storm that would test every part of her faith. For now, Naomi allowed herself to laugh freely, unaware that this season of joy was the calm before a shattering storm. The days that followed Naomi's admission celebration were a blur of joy and planning. Neighbors dropped by to congratulate her, and the church announced her success during Sunday service. Everywhere she turned, people spoke of how proud they were. But amidst the cheers and handshakes, Naomi noticed something different about Chike. It started with the phone calls. He had always called her every night before bed. It was their routine: pray together, talk about the future, and sometimes stay awake until the roosters crow. But lately, his calls had grown shorter. Sometimes they didn't come at all. Chike must be busy, Naomi told herself one night as she lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Yet deep within, her spirit wasn't at peace. One Saturday afternoon, she decided to surprise him at his workplace. Chike had recently secured a position in a construction company, and Naomi was proud of his progress. She prepared a lunch basket with his favorite jollof rice and fried plantain and took a bus across town. When she arrived, she spotted him at a distance, laughing with a group of colleagues. Relief flooded her until her eyes caught something else. A young woman, dressed elegantly, stood close to him. Too close. She touched his arm as she spoke, and Chike didn't pull away. His laughter lingered in the air, but it didn't reach Naomi's ears. Her stomach tightened. Maybe it's nothing, she reasoned, just colleagues talking. But the unease returned, stronger this time. Naomi, Chike's voice snapped her out of her thoughts. He looked surprised to see her. For a brief second, guilt flickered across his face, quickly masked by his usual smile. "What a surprise," he said, kissing her forehead. "You didn't tell me you were coming." "I wanted to bring you lunch," Naomi replied, forcing a smile. Her eyes flicked to the young woman, who was now watching her curiously. Chike cleared his throat. "Oh, this is Ada, one of my colleagues." Ada extended her hand. "Nice to meet you, Naomi. Chike has told me so much about you." Naomi shook her hand politely, but her heart sank. Why did she look so comfortable with him, and why did Chike avoid my eyes just now? Throughout the meal, Naomi noticed Chike's restlessness. His phone buzzed several times, and each time he quickly silenced it, placing it face down on the table. By the time she left, Naomi's smile had faded. Questions swirled in her mind like a raging storm, but she pushed them aside. "I trust him," she whispered to herself as she walked away. "He loves me. He wouldn't hurt me." But that night, sleep refused to come. The unease grew heavier, whispering words she didn't want to hear. A week later, her fears deepened. Naomi was preparing notes for her law classes when Uche, her younger brother, walked into her room holding a phone. "Sis," he said carefully, "I don't know if I should show you this." Naomi frowned. "What is it, Uche?" He hesitated, then handed her the phone. On the screen was a picture. Chike and Ada at a restaurant, leaning close, smiling at each other like more than colleagues. Naomi's heart pounded, her hands trembled as she stared at the image. "No," she whispered, her voice breaking. This can't be what it looks like." Tears blurred her vision, and for the first time, a chilling thought crept into her heart. What if the man I trusted with my future is not the man I thought he was? The shadows had entered her paradise, and they were growing darker by the day.